Hi, it's International Master Squarology, and I am proud to announce we have finally arrived at Emmanuel Neymann's seventh and final signal, Impotent Defense / Defense Too Far Away. The name is self-explanatory. I myself like to think of it as the helpless signal, when one side's pieces are outnumbered or too far away from where the action is taking place. The most common form of impotent defense is when one side has a material advantage. Here, Nepomniachtchi is down material against Chinese prodigy Wei Yi, and Nepomniachtchi's pieces are too far away from the sneaker on h4. White just resigned here, in this position, because he can't do anything to parry the threat of knight g2. For example, king c1, knight g2, h3, and the pawn promotes. Here it was a combination of simply being down material and the defenders being too far away. Another very common form of impotency is where one side can't stop the other from promoting without avoiding material loss. In the last example, Nepomniachtchi simply couldn't stop Wei Yi's pass pawn. But here, Alexeyev can stop Adiban's pawn. He's just going to have to give up massive material. It doesn't help that White's knight can control the queening square by going to d6. Let's just see the rest of the game. And here, Black resigned, because he can't avoid material loss. For example, rook c4, rook e8, king f7, c8 queen, and Black's got nothing better than to give up the rook for the queen. And after rook c8, White's up a whole rook. Here, Krivoruchko is up in exchange against Negi, but if you notice, his king position is weak, and his pieces are on the wrong half of the board. Black to play. What's the best move? Pause the video and find it. Ready? Queen e2, threatening queen g4 checkmate and queen h5 checkmate. And White can't do anything because his pieces are too far away from the action. This was a wild game between Alexei Shirov and Hou Yifan. They're both going for each other's king. In this position, Black played queen h4, and instead of directly defending against it, White chose an indirect method which provoked Black into taking on h2. So Black has netted a pawn, but if you look at the activity, it's a huge mismatch. White's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces attacking Black's king in the direction of Black's king. Here, Black played f6, and White took with the knight. Black was definitely hoping for queen f6. And at first glance, it might look like it's okay for White, but it's not. Because the only piece that's defending the queen on f6 is the rook on g3, because the rook is aligned with the king and pins the g7 pawn. But, as you can see, Black can play queen g3, remove the crucial defender, and afterwards take the queen. And Black's doing fine there. So, that's what Hou Yifan was hoping would happen. And she probably thought that was the right line. She didn't see rook h1. Rook h1 is a really killer move. Because look, now if she plays queen h1, then after queen f6, there's no way to remove the crucial defender. And Black has no defense. It's going to lead to checkmate. For example, if g6, rook g6, hg6, queen g6, bishop g7, queen g7, checkmate. Even simpler is bishop c4, bishop e6, checkmate. So in the game, she had to give up the queen immediately with queen g3. White won after a few more moves. So that's it for the seventh signal, Impotent Defense / Defense Too Far Away. It's not the most elegant name for a signal, and it encapsulates a lot of different situations. So at the beginning, it might seem too vague, but once you start understanding that certain squares are more valuable than other squares, and by extension, that certain areas are more valuable than other areas, it'll start making sense. The only closing note to this Chess.com lesson is that impotent means unable to take effective action, helpless or powerless. Please comment and like. Follow me on Twitter at Squarology, and remember, I'll see you on Chess.com.